Broadcasting live from Vancouver, this is the Rafe Mair Show on 600 AM.
Media censorship can be found in all forms, affects most of what we see or hear every day, be it politics, spin, public relations, or a corporate mandate. Media gagging is everywhere. Harold Berndt is the Western Canada rep for the Disclosure Project. He says the ABC network knowingly misinformed the public about UFO research by keeping significant evidence off the air during a broadcast. His website, incidentally, is www.disclosureproject.org. Harold, we're short of time. Welcome to the show. What's this all about?
Hi, Ray. Thanks for having me today. Well, I don't know, but perhaps maybe I should give you a bit of a background on the Disclosure Project, firstly, which began in the early 90s when an emergency room doctor, believe it or not, began the monumental effort of identifying and locating various government, military, and Air Force personnel, including senior FCC people, astronauts, and various other black op agents, all of whom were ready, willing, and able to openly testify before Congress about what they know regarding the UFO, ET, extraterrestrial phenomena. But the underlying mission was also to identify technologies which we either already have or have back-engineered from ETVs, which incidentally is extraterrestrial vehicles, which were literally stumbled across to various crash and recovery sites, the most famous being Roswell in 1947. Today, there are more than 400 of these highly credible people. And you have to realize these are not blacked-out voice-synthesized deep throat types. These are people that are all identified. They're ready and willing to openly testify before Congress. And that's what we're shooting for.
All right. Ever since the whole idea of a UFO came up, there seems to be those who have seen them say that the government is trying to censor that information, be it the CIA or the Armed Forces of the United States, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What's in it for the United States to censor something if those things are actually factual?
Well, if you stop and think about it, along with this phenomena, Rafe, is superior technology. And we firmly believe that the government has been involved since the early 40s, 50s, maybe even prior to that, with certain black operations involving these advanced propulsion and energy technologies. And as a matter of fact, I'm working on one myself right now, and I brought something to show you a little bit later after the show. So again, these technologies are out there. I firmly believe they're out there. And if they are, why are we still burning coal? Why are we still burning oil? What we're hoping for is that eventually through the internet, through open source inventors, we're hoping that within the private sector, somebody is going to come up with a new form of energy that's going to revolutionize everything. But again, the government and big corporations, big oil, you can imagine the effect this would have on them.
Are these being reported in other places than the United States and Canada?
Oh, as a matter of fact, yes. I mean, most everybody has access to the internet today, and it doesn't take long to find out exactly what's going on. I mean, there are other countries that are much more open to this topic. And as I said to you earlier, I feel like I'm coming out of the closet a little bit today because, I'm a realtor. I've been a realtor for 20 years. And, last August, I happened to see something, and after you see something, I can't even begin to articulate the feeling that you get, and I just knew that I had to explore this issue more seriously.
You don't look or sound like a kook to me, but a lot of people that are supposed to have seen UFOs, etc., are characterized as kooks, and when one follows a story up, turns out they are kooks, because there are kooks in this world. How do I know that you're not a kook in disguise?
Well, you don't, and I just hope that you take me at face value, and I hope the people, your listeners, listen to what I have to say, and take it from there.
All right, the doctor you talked about, I presume, is Dr. Stephen Greer.
Dr. Stephen Greer.
And he was putting together a special for Peter Jennings. What happened to that?
Well, actually, Jennings Productions and their producers contacted the Disclosure Project months in advance of the special, long before taping, and Dr. Greer spent countless hours with them, and he made available to them all the videotape testimony, some physical evidence, everything that's available through the Disclosure Project, and it's all viewable by your listeners on air if they visit www.disclosureproject.com or .org, I'm sorry, and just have a look at it. Do your own due diligence. Have a look.
Now, this is what Dr. Greer wanted Jennings to.
Well, it's Out of all the information that Dr. Greer made available to ABC, not one single bit of that highly credible evidence was used. And incidentally, I've got a copy of the Washington National Press Club conference, which was held in 2001. And in that conference, I believe 20 or so of these witnesses got up and gave their names, gave what they knew, and at the end of each one of those, and this gave me shivers to hear them say, I will gladly testify before Congress as to what I know.
What do we see? What will we see if we go to www.DisclosureProject.org?
Well, you'll see there's reams and reams of information there, government documents. Of course, the videos are available to download there. Supporting information, it's all there. Witness testimony and transcribed form. Some of it, you have to understand that the Disclosure Project is self-supporting. We don't have any big corporations funding us, and we do seek donations. And so some of the information is like the full hour, I believe, some you would have to pay for. There's a small price to get that, but you can view the first 15 minutes for free.
Jennings did put together something, did put it on air, but you were dissatisfied.
The special ran at the end of February, Seeing is Believing, and it was a very slickly done disinformation piece. At the beginning, the first hour, was the best as far as I'm concerned, and it got the highest ratings. After that, the ratings dropped off, which I'm not entirely displeased with. But in the first hour, they did interview various airline pilots and police officers. There was a case in Illinois where a number of police detachments, police officers, actually saw a huge, I mean massive, the size of a football field, giant triangle, just hovering. And this floated through a number of different counties, and I believe it was 2 or 3 different police detachments, 6 or 8 different police officers all viewed this, along with the public.
Why wouldn't Jennings have put forward the story that you would like instead of hoking it up?
Well, we believe that perhaps maybe there was some outside influence. Whether or not there was an outside influence which sanitized that program and allowed them not to use any bit of information from the Disclosure Project Dr. Stephen Greer gave, we really don't know. But we have addressed it. We have placed a call to action. I've registered my complaint with the FCC, and I just received an email from our offices in Washington, and I'll just quote here this short sentence. ABC is getting bombarded now with a lot of complaints. They could have a lawsuit against them, and they have to take it seriously. And as a matter of fact, Dr. Greer is speaking with a large law firm in New York right now, and they're looking for other attorneys to work on this pro bono.
Got about a minute to go. Let me ask you this. Ever since the Police Gazette started to come up with Hitler is alive and well in Argentina, people have been talking about government cover-ups of these things. You think there's a government cover-up of this? Do you have any evidence?
We have got mounds of evidence of government cover-ups, and with the time that we have here, Rafe, we wouldn't be able to go through it, but I implore and I encourage your listeners, please visit the Disclosure Project website. It's all there. It's all in black and white. They can look at it. I've provided you with some of this material. And
Harold, thank you for coming in. We've run out of time. Harold Berndt is the Western Canada rep for the Disclosure Project. Again, that website is www.DisclosureProject.org. Harold will do some more on this in the future.
Thank you, Rafe.
And I will testify before the Congress under oath about everything I have said and more. Thank you.
And I will testify under oath before Congress that what I'm saying is the truth.
I'm willing to testify to the truth of all these matters that I've spoken about this in front of Congress under oath.
That I will testify under oath as to what I say is true, and I will do so before Congress.
I am prepared to testify in detail concerning these events and their truthfulness before Congress.
Thank you very much. I am willing to testify before Congress under oath, or before any other organization, that what I witnessed was true.
I am willing to testify before Congress that what I'm saying is true, and thank you very much.
And I'll be glad to testify to Congress that this is absolutely the truth.
I'm prepared to go to Congress, to swear before Congress that everything I've told you people and everything that is here is the truth. Thank you.
I know we're not alone in the universe. I know that the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. It's evidence that has been denied to the American people. I stand before you today in my almighty God, and I tell you this. If Congress calls me in and says, will you testify in detail what you know, I stand here today prepared and ready to do just that. Governments must never lie to the people.